Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hari Om everyone. On behalf of Bharatiya Stree Mandal, Managing Committee and Trustees, I welcome you all, and I would request our President, Malti Bhabi, Kapadia and Rupaben Merchant to give a warm welcome to Swamiji. Instead of flowers, we always give some homemade things which are done by our ladies. Big round of applause, please.
Thank you.
I'll give you a brief introduction of Swamiji. Swamiji is one of the most dynamic leaders of Chinmaya Mission and Acharya of Chinmaya Mission Mumbai. He completed the Vedanta course from Sandipani Sadhana Powai from 1998 to 2000. He has been serving in Chinmaya Mission Mumbai since 2000. He expounds the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta through talks on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and other texts of Vedanta and Bhakti through camps, meditation retreats, interactive sessions and discussions for youth and adults. Children love him dearly and look forward to his annual summer camps on various themes of spirituality, India and Hindu culture. He inspires the youth with dynamic spirituality, encourages them to think and question. Several corporates like Pyramids, Reliance, Mahindra & Mahindra, Tata Motors, Toyota, PwC etc. have been addressed by him. He holds weekly discussion groups on Bhagavad Gita for some of the top industrialists in Bombay. He is very active on social media and can be reached. His simplicity, foresight, peaceful nature and balanced approach endears him to everyone. Swamiji, today we like to understand the importance of Adhik Maas. From childhood we have been taught to observe Adhik Maas, and parents and grandparents always telling us Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. Now this is there in Padma Puran verse 7.4.29, but which means that Adhik Maas yields intense results in multiples. But why? We still are not able to understand. We do it automatically, but we do not know why the Adhik Phal is given. And in our Pushti Marg or any mandir also, we have manoras on each and every day of Adhik Maas. Now, if it is Ashtami, we see Janmashtami, Ramnavami, everything in 1 month. We do it, but we don't understand why. And this Adhik Maas comes every 3 years. That is a lunar calculation. That every year 11 days are extra, and then after 3 years we have this 1 month extra. And they call it malmaas. Now mal means dirty, and when we call Adhik Maas, it is called Purushottam Maas. Now Purushottam Maas is, Purushottam means Purushasya Uttam iti Purushottam. So there is so much of contradictory. This is a malmaas, dirty, or Purushottam Maas, which is so much of importance. So will you please give us some light on this?
Sure.
Our second question is that we do chant 15th Adhyay when our dear one or dear one passes away, whether it is family, friends, automatically we recite 15th Adhyay, but without even knowing that what is the importance of 15th Adhyay. And from generations to generations, any death in the family, any soul departs, people just start saying 15th Adhyay. Now we do not understand whether a passing soul understands 15th Adhyay or not, whether he had believed in 15th Adhyay or not. So what is the significance that by our chanting 15th Adhyay, will it help the departed soul to go further in his journey? This is the question. And 15th Adhyay also in Bhagavad Gita is called Purushottam Yoga Nama Panchadashwadhyaya. So Purushottam Yoga again, Purushottam Maas. So I think we are very lucky to have you on this occasion, and if you can enlighten us on these two subjects, we will be very happy.
Definitely.
Thank you, Swamiji. Over to you.
Hari Om. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhirdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanatham Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. आवाज क्यों आ रहा है? हमिंग आ रहा है? वो माइक बंद है कि चालू है? वो माइक चालू है? Hari Om. Hari Om. Salutations to all of you. First of all, I want to thank Bharatiya Stree Mandal, specifically Rupaji, for this wonderful opportunity to have satsang in Adhik Maas on the Mahima of Adhik Maas and the Purushottam Yoga. As she already told you that Purushottam Maas this is, and in that Purushottam Maas, the Mahima of Purushottam Yoga is what we want to discuss. So, first we come to this Maas, Adhik Maas. So the solar calendar we know is 365.2 days Earth takes to go around the Sun. And that is the calendar that we are following. As far as the English calendar is concerned, that is what we are following. But our Hindu calendar goes by the lunar tithis. So the lunar tithis, the time taken by the moon to go around the earth, is 354 plus little more days. And so there is a gap of 11 days and little more. So it is said that after 32 solar months, 16 hours and 8 ghatis, this Adhik Maas comes. The month in which the sun does not go into another Rashi, the Sankranti does not happen in the lunar month in which the Sankranti of the sun does not happen into another Rashi, that month is called Adhik Maas. So it is not that any month after 3 years one can take, but the month in which the Sankranti of the sun does not happen. And so this month is a extra month, that's why it is called Adhik Maas. Now our Sanatana Dharma has a very clear understanding that time is not just going by the clock. What is time? Time is Bhagavan himself in another form. Bhagavan in the Gita also says Kalosmi, that I am the time. Time also means change, time also means death, different meanings the word kala has. So in our culture we believe that every month, so everything has a presiding deity who is nothing but the form of Bhagwan in a different way. We call them devatas. So for us river is not just water. For us river is Ganga Maya, Yamuna Maya, Saraswati Maya, that way. Vana Devata, Vayu Devata, Agni Devata, Varun Devata, Indra Devata, like that we have so many. So everything in this creation is sentient, it is divine. It may appear insentient to us, but it is not insentient. So we have the understanding of devatas. Now, very important to understand today what science also says is the same thing. They say that an atom we think is inert, but an atom is not inert. In quantum physics they have an experiment called double slit experiment. You can do Google research on double slit experiment. A particle is split and it is, thrown on a particular board. It is meant to pass through two holes and many particles they will be thrown and they will form patterns. So if there is a board and there are two holes and the particles are thrown through that, it will form a certain pattern on the other side. Very interesting is what pattern it forms just like that by passing through the two holes is not the same pattern it will follow, it will make when it is observed. When a camera is put and the particle is observed, that how the particle behaving, the behavior of the particle completely changes. So many quantum physicists, they wonder that is particle really inert? How does the particle know it is being observed and its entire behavior changes? What we think is inert at a particular level is not inert at a deeper level, at a level of subatomic particles, etc. It is not inert. So the entire creation is pervaded by sentient forces. This is the first point to understand. Second point to understand, our culture does not say that the whole creation is only created from matter. Matter is the appearance of consciousness. So we say Bhagwan did not create this world, Bhagwan appears as this world. Like a dream example is given, that when we dream, then what happens in the dream? The dreamer projects everything in the dream world. The dreamer is lying on the bed, sleeping, not moving also, but the entire dream world is a projection of that mind. So the hills, the rivers, the mountains, the beings, the human beings, everything there is a projection of dreamer's mind. And the dreamer's mind is sentient, but it appears as though the hills are inert, river water is inert, all that happens there. And then the dreamer forgets that I am the dreamer who has projected this whole dream world, gets identified with one character and thinks I am different, dream world is different, some dream creator is different. Same way, we have forgotten our true self. Now we think we are these human beings and this world is separate from us and there is some other God who is there. But our culture says no, Bhagwan alone appears inside us, outside us, everywhere. Antar bahicha tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitaha. Inside, outside, everywhere is one pure consciousness alone. These boundaries of inside and outside are only created based on the body. Very interesting. I am giving you few things from science so that we understand that our culture has not been just some superstition and some people have come together and decided a few things. No, they have a deep understanding of the very phenomenon of life, creation, oneness. So in science also what they say, our brain does not know the difference between inside and outside. Think about it. If you suppose this bottle is there, if I hold this bottle in my hand and I drink water from this, which part of my brains will light up? The same portions of my brain will light up if I just close my eyes and visualize the bottle and visualize drinking water. I am not physically drinking anything. Physically I am not holding anything. But the same portion of the brain will light up. Because the brain does not know the difference between inside and outside. Why? Because everything is in the brain only. We think that there is a world outside. So all of you are sitting here. Are you sitting here? For my brain it appears that you are sitting here. But if you see from brain standpoint, you are inside my brain. Right? So there is nothing outside actually. So same way, when we understand is inside outside is a division we have created. So the whole world is pervaded by consciousness. That is first very important point to understand. Now Adhik Maas, when we say Bhagavan appears as this entire creation, so every mass, every month, the 12 months of the Hindu calendar, starting from which month? Kartik. Some people say Kartik, if you celebrate Deepavali and you start your new year from that time. Some people will say Chaitra. Depends on which, which new year, which day you celebrate in the month. But generally otherwise it will be from Chaitra, 12 months. Every month of our Hindu calendar has a presiding deity. So you must have heard Hindus have 33 crore devatas. You have heard? But what is the meaning of 33 crore? 33 koti. Koti means a category. In Sanskrit, one meaning of word koti is category. It is not only crores. There are 33 main categories of devatas. Who are these 33 main categories of devatas? They are 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 8 Vasus. That makes how much? 31. 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 31. Then Indra and Brihaspati. Sometimes it is said Ashwini Kumars. Different Puranas give little variation in this. These are the 33 main deities. Under them there may be many more who take care of the creation. Now 12 Adityas who are there, they are the sons of Aditi. These 12 Adityas are the presiding deities of each month. Malmaas did not have a deity. That's why it is called malmaas. Adhik Maas did not have a deity. So what happened? Now why is the deity important? Because when we do any karma, especially any desire prompted action, there are devatas who will help to fulfill that. So even in a puja, if you see the sankalpa when it is taken, they will say Grama Devata, Sthana Devata, Kul Devata, all of them will be propitiated. And the month, the tithi, the nakshatra, everything will be taken into account, and then the karma is done, it will give result. Because we understand that every karma is possible because of the totality. Can you and I do anything by ourselves independent of the totality? We cannot live also without totality. The air that we breathe, the water that we drink, all that is a part of the totality. So, individual cannot live separate from the totality. So, we have to be in tune with it. So, every month had a deity. Now, this malmaas did not have a deity. That's why it was called malmaas. Why? Because if it does not have a presiding deity, the rituals done in that mass will not give result. So, those who are karma kandis, who actually do a lot of karmas, which does not mean only physical rituals, okay? Karma means action. And who is a karma kandi? A lot of people say, Swami ji, हम ये कर्म कांड में नहीं मानते हैं. ये तो कर्म कांडी है. अरे कर्म कांड is not just physical ritual. If you do anything for yourself, it is a karma. and you want for yourself some benefit, it is a karma, it is a ritual that you will do. Profession that you go to do your work, you gain some income, salary, you buy some things, you enjoy, all that is a part of that. Specifically, yes, you can say karma as specific rituals also are there which are mentioned, there is no doubt. So in this month, because the rituals which are done, the actions which are done does not have a presiding deity, then who will give the results? Karma is done, how do you think result comes? Suppose you have a phone now, right? You are typing on the phone or you are receiving a call. How are you able to use that equipment? Somebody has made it, right? Somebody has programmed it, somebody has designed it, devised it. So there is a system which has been made. We may say, Swamiji, हम तो सिर्फ फ़ोन दबाते हैं, कॉल लेते हैं, कॉल करते हैं, हमको इन सब से क्या मतलब? But there is somebody who is there ना, who did it. Same way, we may say, हम तो कर्म करते हैं, अब कर्म का फल आता है अपने आप. अपने आप नहीं आता है. There is a karma phala data. And there are devatas who are there to bless with karma phala. So in our culture it is said that every month has a presiding deity. They will take charge of certain things of that month. They are responsible. This Bharatiya Stree Mandal, so much good work is being done. How this great work happens? वो तो अपने आप हो जाता है स्वामी. हम सब आ जाते हैं, हो जाता है. अरे, there is a committee or not? She was telling me that there are 10 people who meet every Monday and Thursday. And they spend 5 hours at least, and the whole coordination happens. Then only work will happen. अपने आप कैसे होगा? So there are presiding forces, and hence it is said that that month in which there is no presiding deity, the rituals are not giving fruit, the actions will not give proper results. So the ritualists called this mass as malmaas. They said this is an impure month because इसमें कर्म फल कैसे मिलेगा, कौन देगा? So what happened? This malmaas, now it is personified. So this malmaas went to Bhagavan Vishnu and said, you are the sustainer. And Adityas, 12 Adityas are there, they are in charge of every month. But there is nobody who is in charge of this particular time. Now you please help. And I am called as Malamasa, and nobody wants to do any proper, rituals and pujas and karmas and anything they don't want to do. Because there is no presiding deity, there will not be any result. So then, what should I do? Please help me. So this is a story in the Puranas. So Bhagavan Vishnu said, don't worry, I myself am time, I am the sustainer of the whole universe. From now onwards, this Adhik Maas will be called as Purushottam Maas. And whatever karma is done in this month, it will get infinite result. There is no fixed. See, any karma we do will give limited result or not. So even if you do puja, japa, dan, yajna, tapa, anything, it will give some fixed result, no doubt. But the same thing we do in this month, it will give infinite result. Why? Because Bhagavan said this month is now called Purushottam Maas, and henceforth, so what she said, Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. It only said Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. Kitna Adhik? Immeasurable is the Adhik. Which is the Mahima of doing the extra sadhanas in this month. And in this month you will not find any selfish desire prompted activity which will be done. So this is one very beautiful point from philosophy standpoint. That if we think about it, what is the cause of sorrow? One of the causes of our sorrow is our own selfishness. To the extent we are selfish, to that extent we are insecure and sorrowful. If we don't, to the extent we have selflessness, to that extent we are happy. So 32 months we may do many things for ourselves. 1 month we should live in selflessness. Is that too much to ask? If you think about it, the entire world is sustained by selflessness. Honestly, if you think about it. It is human being who has become very selfish and become so self-centered that human being is destroying oneself and other beings as well as nature because of one's own selfishness. Otherwise the world sustains only on selflessness. There's a beautiful Subhashita in our culture which says, Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha, Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha, Paropakaraya duhanti gavaha, Paropakarartham idam shariram. For whom do the rivers flow? Do they flow for themselves? They flow for others. For whom do the trees give fruits? They give fruits for others. For whom does the cow give milk? For the calf and for everyone else. Same way our body is meant for what? It is meant to serve. To remind us every 32 months, this is a beautiful reminder that, oh man, you have lived enough for yourself. Now be selfless. That's why in this month, selfish karmas are not done. So you will not have marriage ceremonies, you will not have Janev Samskar, you will not have Diksha, you will not buy some land, buy any property. Many things. One will not do. Sakama karma basically will not be done in this 1 month. So philosophically that is the significance. That if we learn to do selfless work. Now how will we learn to do selfless work? When we remember Bhagavan, that He has given us everything. So much gratitude we feel in our heart if we remember that Bhagavan has blessed us with so much. She was telling me while coming that for many years, many of you have worked and done so much and now you want to give back. And so this entire Bharatiya Stree Mandal has been going on for 94 years now and serving so many people. So that selfless work happens, then society prospers only through that, really speaking. Otherwise standard of living can go up, but standard of life, that may not match up. There are enough people who have done enough for themselves and don't even think of doing anything for the others. There are enough people who are doing things in the name of the others but for their own glory actually. And there are enough people in the world today who are doing so-called great work but actually destroying the world. So genuine selflessness. Our culture says in this Adhik Maas, do only selfless karmas. So how to do selfless karma? Out of gratitude, do things for the society, serve the society as serving Bhagavan, and remember the Lord maximum in this month. Whatever punya one will get, that one will get. But philosophically speaking, if we taste the joy of selflessness, कि मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, that person feels so happy. And the heart is filled with so much of gratitude, joy, contentment, fullness, love. Then one goes out and serves. So one does remembrance of Bhagavan, so one does Nama Japa, one does chanting of bhajans, one listens to the Bhagavat Katha, one does puja of Bhagavan Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, not wanting anything from Bhagavan, just remembering Bhagavan for the love of the Lord. Just imagine if we can do this, 1 month we do in 32 months. If we feel the joy in this 1 month, will we not like to extend it to the other months? Then our whole life can become like that. Life can become an expression of service, of joy, of selflessness. So this is called Purushottam Maas because of that. Because if we do this, every person becomes Uttam Purush by living selflessly. And only by that selflessness the heart becomes clean. Then you realize the self in your heart, that Vishnu whom I am worshipping is in my heart. Who is Vishnu? Vishnu is not just somebody who is sitting in, who is lying on the serpent bed in the Vaikuntha Loka. Who is Vishnu? Vyapakatvat Vishnu. The all-pervading supreme consciousness is Vishnu. Though the Lord is all-pervasive, pure consciousness is all-pervasive, inside, outside, are we able to recognize it? No. What comes in between? Our body identification and our selfishness. So this is the month to do maximum sadhana to drop selfishness. Swamiji, can we not do that in other months? Why this month only is required? Please do in other months also. But this month specifically, because the Puranas and Bhagwan himself dedicated this specifically to remind us to do selfless karmas in this month and don't do selfish karmas in this month. As much you can avoid, you avoid it. So that is the Siddhant, that is called the principle. And so the vratas are done in Adhik Maas. For 1 month, one will take up some niyams that every day I will do this much japa of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya or Om Namo Narayanaya, or every day I will worship Bhagavan Lakshmi Narayana, or I will do this much dan, or I will do this particular chanting of 15th chapter. Some vrata one takes, some sadhana one does. So this is the significance of Adhik Maas, why we call it as malmaas. Now one more beautiful reason why it is also called malmaas is, this is the mass in which maximum mala is destroyed. What are the malas? 6 malas are there. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Do you think these are 6 or these are only one appearing as 6? Think about it. They look like 6 of them and it looks like, oh Swamiji, बहुत मुश्किल है, हर एक पर नियंत्रण पाना है. We try to control काम, then क्रोध increases. If we try to control क्रोध, then लोभ increases. Then you, by the time you manage लोभ, then again this matsarya increases. Something or the other goes on increasing. How to control all these 6? The key of control is in the first one. Kama. That alone manifests as the other 5. So it's actually one manifesting as 6. Kama, if we fulfill, what happens? Greed can come, lobha, we want more of it. Kama, if it is fulfilled, it can give mada also. I am so rich, I am so powerful, I am so great. It can get some intoxication. Kama, when it is fulfilled, it can give delusion also. I can get away with anything, all my desires get fulfilled, I am the Lord, people should worship me, people should glorify me, all kinds of delusion can come. If it is not fulfilled, it will give rise to krodha, anger, and matsarya, which is jealousy. So, if we manage this kama properly, other 5 will easily get managed. Generally, we don't manage kama. We are struggling with the effects. Swamiji, I have a lot of anger management issues. I get angry very well, very fast. And when I get angry, I tell anything to that person and I don't even, I'm not even aware of what I am saying. And then I regret, I should not have said like this. Why did I say like this? But at that time, it just happens. Very true, it happens to all of us. But what is the cause? Somewhere there will be an attachment which is not getting fulfilled, so I am getting angry. You analyze all the other 5 also, other 4 also. It will be that karma will be the cause. So how to transform this karma? Can I completely destroy karma? Desire cannot be destroyed completely. As long as we are alive, desire will be there. And selfish desire, more selfishness is there, more sorrows it will bring. So what to do? The only way is transform kama into nishkama. If kama becomes nishkama, mind will become purified. Adhik Maas is meant for that. It will destroy maximum mala. Because one is nishkam bhav, selflessness, and second is bhakti bhav. Both these will bring so much of joy and purification to the human being. So in this Adhik Maas, we do maximum sadhana because it will destroy our mala. So it is malmaas, not because it is just called an impure mass. That some people did call it earlier, but after Bhagavan gave it name Purushottam Maas, then it is no more called malmaas actually. If we use the word malmaas, it should be to remind us that in this month we should dedicate our time, our efforts, our sadhana to destroy our malas, to become more and more pure. And bhakti is that which will destroy a lot of malas. When we start experiencing the joy in just chanting the name of Bhagavan, then we don't feel that I should go somewhere, become something, get something, and then only I will be happy. Those thoughts will leave us because we feel happiness here and now. It is a trick of our mind that we think, happiness is there. Is happiness in the objects? If it was in the objects, then people who have maximum objects should be maximum happy. There was one person, he went to meet his friend, and the friend is a psychiatrist. Now this friend was having a clinic, not a clinic, we call it as an asylum, a mental asylum, and some patients are admitted there. So this person was taken around by the psychiatrist, and what did he see there? He saw, somebody is sitting very sad, somebody is talking all to oneself, somebody just staring out of the window, somebody was scratching their head. Different people are doing different things there. So this one person, he was looking at one photograph and saying, Lulu, my dear Lulu, I love you, Lulu. So the person said, why is he saying this? What happened to him? So the psychiatrist said, he was in love with this girl called Lulu, and then he could not marry this Lulu, and now he has lost his mental balance, and so he is here, but he keeps on seeing. So he said, that is really sad. Then he went ahead, and after a few beds he crossed, he saw another person who was sitting there, and he was beating on his forehead, Lulu, Are Lulu. He said, what happened to him? He said, that man is mad because he couldn't marry Lulu, this man is mad because he married Lulu. Think about it. If Lulu had the capacity to give happiness, then whoever had Lulu should have been happy. By the way, Lulu means what, Lulu means most beautiful one. That's the meaning of Lulu. There's a Lulu mall in Kerala. I don't know if you are aware. Lulu mall. So the point is, objects don't have happiness outside. We think it is there outside. Then we run behind it, and then we get for some time, then again we run behind something else. Adhik Maas is the mass where we do adhikasya adhikam phalam, do sadhana, maximum, experience joy here and now. Then that bhav you can carry forward through the rest of the year. Then what will happen? Adhik Maas has transformed us, and the need of Adhik Maas is completed. That every month becomes then divine for us. Whole life becomes divine. So these are different opportunities our culture gives to do sadhana, to understand specifically certain philosophies, and of course there are many other planetary constellations and many other things which are there that will have an effect on our body, on our mind, and hence the month comes after 32 solar months, etc. In this Adhik Maas only, avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu also happened as Narasimha avatar. So we find that Prahlad ji, he was such a great devotee of Bhagavan, and to protect him, Bhagavan manifested as Narasimha. Now you see this mass where in which Bhagavan manifested as Narasimha, how can it be something which is impure? Bhagavan himself manifested. And if you see the story of Narasimha avatar, Hiranyakashipu is a symbol of complete ego. Height of selfishness is Hiranyakashipu. Why? Because he says there is nobody more powerful than me. He wanted to be immortal, and Brahmaji said, no, I can't give you the boon of immortality. You choose something else. So he thought something very unique, and he said, I should not be killed by any creation of yours, number one. It should not be any living being who is created by you. Not man, not animal, not inside, not outside, not up, not down, not at sunrise, not sunset. Day and night, not in the day, not in the night. So many conditions he laid out. Then he thought he has become immortal. Then he is exploiting everybody, and he is telling everybody what? Not only he was thinking he is great and immortal, he is ensuring systematically that wherever temples are there, they get destroyed. Whoever is doing yajna, puja, havan, all those things are destroyed. And everybody has to say what? You have to say Om Hiranyaya Namaha. You should not chant the name of Vishnu. You have to chant my name. Are there not such sycophants in the society even today? They want themselves to be glorified. Nobody else should be glorified. Are you worthy of being glorified also? No. We have to be glorified. Anybody who goes little bit away from that, out. So, Hiranyakashipu is the height of selfishness. And Prahlad is complete devotion, absolute selflessness, complete fearlessness. The avatar of Narasimha Bhagwan happened to show what? To show the victory of selflessness and devotion over selfishness, materialism and atheism. The victory of faith over non-belief. The victory of selflessness, fearlessness over selfishness. That is why this month is again a sacred month, because Narasimha Bhagavan manifested in this month and again proved the same point, that be selfless, be devoted and serve everybody. The more we are selfish, the more we suffer. So this is the significance of Adhik Maas, why it is called malmaas and why it is called Purushottam Maas. So from now onwards, if you use the malmaas word, you should remind yourself of what? My malas have to be destroyed. How much have I become purified? Have my malas reduced or not? If I am doing sadhana in this month, before this month, how I was? After this month, how I am? Has my mala reduced a bit or not? Has my selfishness reduced or not? They have advertisements. Before, so the person is bald. After, the same person has a lot of hair. Like that, you have to evaluate. Before, how was I before? And how am I after? And now, if I have seen the joy of selflessness, that if malas are reduced, then how happy my mind is. We have to become nirmala. And that nirmal must continue through the year. It should not be that Swamiji, एक महीना हमने बहुत कर लिया निस्वार्थ भाव से, अब हमको पूरा अपने लिए करना है. वापस जितना निस्वार्थ किया था सब वापस संचय करना है. Continue that bhav. That is the power. Because then only the next Adhik Maas when you do, it will bring more progress. Otherwise what will happen? In the scriptures the example is given of the bath of an elephant. Hasti Snanam. Elephant goes into the lake, takes bath, sprinkles water on itself, plays Jalakrida, all that the elephant will do. And as soon as the elephant comes out, it takes all the mud and puts back into itself. अब क्या पर्पस हुआ उसका स्नान का? अब सेम थिंग वी विल ऑल्सो डू. अधिक मास में अधिक से अधिक साधना करो, अधिक से अधिक जप करो, दान करो, पुण्य करो, और बाकी के 32 महीने में कुछ नहीं. No, that should not happen. So this is significance of Adhik Maas. Specific actions also are there. It is said that you make 33, every day you do dan to a brahmana, 33 what you call as, I don't know in English what you call it, rice cake, na?
Rice cake.
Apoop. Apoop we call it, apoopa. In Sanskrit it's called apoopa. Made with rice, jaggery, and ghee. Malpua. Okay, you can call it malpua. Chalo. Donate 33 of them every day, or at least once in the month, to the Brahmana. Now again you say, why to the Brahmana? See, the philosophy we have to understand. Action is one thing, it has a significance, there is a reasoning behind it. Our culture does not do anything just like that. So, who is a Brahmana? Not somebody who is just born in the Brahmana family. Somebody who has maximum sattva guna is a Brahmana. And what is the duty of the Brahmana? See, earlier days Brahmanas did not earn, it's not a profession. They are to serve. So they will study the Vedas, teach the Vedas. They will do rituals and pujas and sadhanas, and they will teach others and help them to do. And they will live on dakshina. There is no fees. Whatever people feel like they will give. With that they have to live. So to such people, when dan is done, you are supporting them. The society supports the Brahmanas, Brahmanas will support society. So society gives food, clothes, everything to the Brahmanas. Brahmanas nourish the society with knowledge, with rituals, with blessings, with tapasya, all that. So that was the system. So that's why dan is done to the Brahmanas. Meaning again you revere that attitude of selflessness, that somebody is serving the society selflessly, is not demanding anything. Our Chinmaya mission pledge, Gurudev told us, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We live by that pledge. So we have to live like that. Produce more than what we consume. That ideal, in a society, if that ideal is cherished, where producers are more, then that is such a wonderful society. Otherwise, majority places, consumers will only be more. Producers will be very less. And that is the cause of our sorrow even in our relationships. Everybody wants love, but nobody wants to give love. They are only waiting, somebody will love me. And they should love me as I want. And nowadays people say, you have to learn my love language. Acha, your love language we have to know first. And then love you accordingly. I mean, nothing wrong. You can learn the love language and make them happy. There is no problem with that. But the idea is that everybody is waiting for love. Nobody is going out to give love. So this month is month where you go out and give. Then the sadhana happens well and one feels happy. And whatever seva one does, then the bhav is Manav seva is Madhav seva, Jan seva is Janardhan seva, Nar seva is Narayan seva. With that attitude one lives. So this much about Adhik Maas. I will stop here for this topic, and if you have any questions you are welcome to ask. Then we go to the next topic. Yes.
Why they say that you have to bathe in a river or something in Adhik Maas?
Correct. Because Durvasa Muni also said that in one of the Puranas it comes that when you take a bath in the river in this month, maximum punya you will get. Now the point is what is the symbol of, so the river is a symbol of continuous flow. And as I said in the beginning, river flows for others, river does not flow for itself. So again the idea is to purify ourselves. See, when you take a bath in the river, we purify our body. But the idea is not just to purify the body, that will anyway get purified every day. Even a buffalo will take bath in the river, it will get purified. How does human being purify oneself? So if one does this with the bhav that this month is Adhik Maas, this is a sacred river. Why is the river sacred? Because it appearance of Bhagavan only. And then I take bath with that bhav and I get purified of my selfishness. So we are supposed to drop one thing in this month, where we decide, okay, this month I will not do this thing which is very, maybe something which is my attachment, which is my dependency, which makes me more selfish. I should drop that. So this 1 month I will not do. So go into the river take that sankalpa, take the dip and say that, oh mother, you please help me to get rid of this negative tendency. Bas. So that is the significance, which generally we used to do when we go on a tirtha yatra. See, any tirtha yatra we go, we have to go to the nadi there, the tirtha sthan. So it is called tirtha because it will be on the banks of a river. There will be a nice river there. So go take the bath there, invoke the Bhagavan and the Devi of that river and pray that please help me to drop this negativity and let go. So that actually purifies. That is called avabhrita snanam. So that's why I take bath in the river. And nowadays it is difficult to find river only. And there also clean river. This human being has destroyed this planet, I tell you. I live in Juhu. Arey Dama, if you go onto the Juhu beach in the monsoon, it is so terrible. Really the heart pains, But you can't do walking also there. You are walking through all kinds of plastic and bottles and wrappers and...
Take bath, but it's not possible.
Yeah. It will become very difficult today. We have to purify all those things. We keep on polluting so much. So nowadays that becomes a challenge, the river. Solution is not that we find some via media and some other thing and then we say, okay, I am going to do. The solution is also that we stop polluting those rivers that we are polluting.
What kind of foods does one recommended to eat during Adhik Maas, and what is the scientific reason and what's the effect on the body?
No, that effect wise there is nothing different scientifically if you speak scientifically. But specifically if you do upvas, so they say in this Adhik Maas, one of the main sadhanas you can do is do upvas. So upvas is of different categories. So if you are able to do certain days you can do only with water, that is the best form of upvas. If that is not possible, then you eat once in the day or once at night. That is called ekabhukta. Ekabhukta in the day and nakta bhukta if it is in the night. One time only, not any other, more than once. If that is difficult, then do falahar through the day. So some regular intervals, keep eating some fruits. Avoid cereals. So you can do combinations of one day only water, one day only night, some days only fruits, whatever, if one wants to do for the whole month. Some people, they will not do whole month for whatever reason, there may be so many reasons for it. They will do specifically the Ekadashi of that month. So Ekadashis will be 2 and Adhik Maas Ekadashi has much more significance in that sense because it is Purushottam Maas. The purpose of Ekadashi actually is this. See, we have actually forgotten what is the purpose of Ekadashi. We should remember that. And then do. Why is Ekadashi done actually? Swamiji, 11th of the Tithi, of the 11th Tithi of the month, we do Phalahar, we do Upvas, we do. बस पुण्य मिलता है, अच्छा है, इच्छा की पूर्ति होती है. And every Ekadashi has some particular name also and particular story associated with it also. Bas. That's why I am saying we have forgotten Ekadashi. What is the significance? Ekadashi is vrata done for Dvadashi. Because Dvadasha, 12 is the number of Bhagavan Vishnu. And Dvadashi is the specific Tithi which is dedicated to Bhagavan Vishnu. And so on the Ekadashi when we do Upvas, we are purifying our body. It actually starts on the 10th evening. It will go up to 12th morning. And on 12th morning, so 10th evening onward, 10th meaning the Tithi Dashami. So that Dashami evening to Dvadashi morning, one has to do Upvas. And that Upvas is done in honor of Bhagavan Vishnu, so that on Dvadashi day I will be able to worship Bhagavan Vishnu. when a person does upvas, I am talking spiritually now, see physically detoxification will happen, there is no doubt. And now the research in, I think 2019, the person from Japan, I forget the name, who did the research on this fasting, and he got the Nobel Prize. What was his finding? That once in 15 days, if you do complete abstinence from food and drink only water, the T cells in your body will regenerate, and they will help you to ensure that cancer doesn't come and fight the cancer also if it is there. Once in 15 days. What is Ekadashi Vrat? It is once in 15 days. So one is physical benefit it will have, there is no doubt. But second is the pranic reason. See, when we do upvas, what happens? Our prana shakti goes upwards. When we eat food, prana and apan vayu, they are going to digest. So a lot of energy goes there. And no doubt that will release energy also, and body will get nutrients and all that happens. But spiritually speaking, if one wants to achieve higher states of meditation, the prana shakti must start going upwards. Effortlessly that will happen when a person has done Ekadashi. The prana shakti will turn upwards, and the more it will turn upwards, the more deeper one will go in meditation, the wandering of the mind will be lesser, the feeling that a person has of surrender, of bhakti, of joy will be very heightened. So that is the pranic reason. Another symbolic reason is why only Ekadashi. See, from Ekadashi to Purnima or Ekadashi to Amavasya is the time when the moon is closer to the earth. Now if you see the axis of the moon is not equidistant from the earth. The moon comes in such a way around the earth that sometimes it is closer to the earth, sometimes it is far. It goes like that. So when it is closer to the earth, the pull of the moon obviously on the earth, the gravity is such that the tidal waves will rise much more higher. So those 5 tithis, the mind is much more susceptible to certain challenges, weaknesses, many emotional challenges can come, because we believe Manaso Devata Chandrama, the presiding deity of the mind is the moon. That's why our Gurudev used to say that after marriage, people go for honeymoon, they don't go for sun. Because if they were in the right senses, they would not have married. Anyway, that's a joke, okay? Don't take it seriously. Otherwise, people will say this Swami is against marriages. The point is that the moon has lot of impact on the mind. So, Ekadashi time when we do this, then we are controlling that power. You see, so many places the mental asylums are called what? Lunatic asylums. It's connected to lunar, because lunar is connected to the mind. Now, another reason is why 11? Ekadasha means 11. So 5 senses of knowledge, 5 senses of action and mind. These 11, if we control and turn them within, we will realize the divine. There are so many beautiful significances of Ekadashi. So fasting is generally recommended in this month for that reason. The same benefit you will get in other months also. That's why I am saying scientifically there is no difference in terms of the effect of fasting on your body in this Adhik Maas. Punya wise it will be if you remember. Because upvas literally means what? Stay close. Upa, vas. Upa means near, vas means to stay. Stay close to what? Stay close to the divine. So the basic activity of eating food, and for that you have to prepare food and all the efforts required for that, you are away from those and spending that time in remembering Bhagwan, and your pranic energy is going up. And where will you recognize that Bhagwan? In your heart. Murti outside is to help me to remember the Lord in my heart. So you are closest to Bhagwan. So maximum japa is to be done, remembrance of Bhagwan is to be done Ekadashi Mahatva is that. Ekadashi Mahatva is not food. Today we have made food as most important. Ekadashi है आज, क्या खाओगे? राजगरे का शीरा बनाएंगे. अरे, we are expert in making such lovely food which you don't get on normal days. So people are happily eating Ekadashi food, and Ekadashi thalis are available. Please have this. People are having Ekadashi ka whatever, chips, and then Rajagre ka puri and Shingade ka lot ka shira and I don't know what. Arey, the idea is to eat lesser, and Gujarati people to you don't. They are bhojan priya. Oh baapre, 100 types of Ekadashi का food they will prepare. स्वामी जी आप ये नहीं खाते, हम ये आप भेज देंगे. अरे, so the idea is to refrain from these daily duties, activities, and spend that much time in remembering the Lord, and do it for 3 days, Dashami evening up to Dwadashi morning, and break the fast after worshipping Bhagwan on Dwadashi morning. So that is the significance of fasting.
Swami, one more question.
Haji, I'll come.
We have so normal Shravan Maas, we have so many celebrations like Raksha Bandhan,
Yeah.
Janmashtami,
Correct.
all these the Shravan Maas is full of celebrations.
Full of that.
They should not be observed during the Adhik Maas.
During Adhik Maas, none of them will come.
They don't have to observe this month.
That's why, see, in Adhik Maas, you will not have any much festivals.
You don't have to, it is not
No. So Adhik Maas,
or Raksha Bandhan, you can't have Raksha Bandhan on that day. No.
see, the point is, Adhik Maas mein it will not come only. Tithi wise, it will not come in Adhik Maas.
During normal Shravan Maas, we can do it.
In normal Shravan, you will do.
Not
So,
during Adhik Shravan.
yeah, Adhik Shravan mein anyway it will not fall. Those dates will not come in Adhik Maas at all. None of these special dates will come in Adhik Maas. Adhik Maas, that's why I said, is exclusively meant only for remembering Bhagwan, nothing else. This, now one point about Adhik Maas is this Maas. So Adhik Maas will fall anywhere between Falgun and Ashwin. Between that much only mostly Adhik Maas will fall. Very rarely in some 250 years one Kartik Maas will come Adhik. But otherwise generally it will be between Falgun and Ashwin Maas. Now how do we decide which month will be the Adhik Maas? That is the criteria to decide, that the month in which the sun does not transcend into another Rashi, that lunar month is called Adhik Maas. So this year it is Adhik Shravan. So this Adhik Shravan, and the next month will be the actual Shravan. That actual Shravan is called Shuddha Shravan. This is called Adhik Shravan. Because people said this is malmaas, so that is Shuddha Maas.
Swarnit Shravan.
You can call it Swarnit Shravan. So in the Adhik Maas specifically, there will not be any of these festivals or any sakama karma that will happen.
Excuse me.
1 minute, one by one.
If it is Purushottam Maas, then why there are no murats for good events?
That's what I am saying, because there is no sakama karma to be done. No desire prompted activity to be done in this month to encourage people to do selfless work and think about others and do seva and think about Bhagwan. For that only. That's why it is no murat. So no weddings will happen, no Janeu Samskar, no Sannyas Diksha, none of that will happen. This is dedicated only for Bhagwan. I'll come to you, I'll finish hers and come.
Swami, I've said every month has a deity.
Yeah.
Like Shravan Maina, whenever Shravan comes, we worship Shankar Bhagavan. Now, basically, in our culture and most we are Bhattiyas, we have observed Pushtima and we are all Krishna followers. And when the Shravan Maina comes, in olden days, so they were never allowed to say even Shiv's name. Nowadays, we do observe Shravan Maina, we do Shiv Abhishek and all. But every month we should do the puja according to the deity of the month.
See, the deity of the month is, as I said, is one of the Adityas. Okay, deity of the month is one of the Adityas. Deity of the month doesn't change by what festival comes in the month and which deity's festival that is. That is not the presiding deity of the month. The 12 Adityas are the presiding deities of the 12 months. Now, one important thing here is we have to understand that why it is said in our culture that if you are, suppose because you are a Pushti Margi, so it will be said in Pushti Marga that you should worship Krishna alone and nobody else. And even there you worship one specific form of Krishna. Suppose yours is Balakrishna, then that is your Ishta, then you worship only Balakrishna. For somebody else it is Gopala Krishna, for somebody else it is the Krishna Radha Krishna. So whichever form you choose, you stick to that one form, forget everything else, because our mind must become single pointed in that form worship and in the bhavana, in the relationship you build with Bhagwan, and slowly as that becomes deeper, you completely lose your ego and you realize that divinity is me, myself, in my true nature. I am not this body, mind, intellect. That's the deeper purpose of Upasana. So from many forms you choose one form, and one form you keep worshipping, and you will go beyond that one form to realize absolute truth. So it is not that we should not worship other forms, but what happens in human mind is, because we are worshipping many forms, we also think that Bhagwan is many. Intellectually we may say, no, God is one, God is one. But we still feel deep down in our heart, no, Bhagwan is many. So suppose I ask you, in your temple, how many gods are there? Most of the time in Hindu temples, everybody will be there. Nothing wrong in that, because in a family somebody may like Krishna, somebody may like Ram, somebody may like Hanuman, somebody may like Devi. Then let them worship what they like. But if it is your personal temple, will you remove all other forms and keep only your Ishta? No, Swamiji. But you just said God is one. God is one only, but suppose Ganeshji doesn't like that he is removed, then हमको risk नहीं लेना है. सबको थोड़ा थोड़ा दे दो, सबको खुश रखो, क्योंकि अभी कोई कौन सा गॉड कब बुरा मान जाएगा, तो नहीं, वो हमको नहीं करना है. So this is the mindset that our
we always believe that we have to pray Ganesh also, we have to do Shankar Puja also, we have to do Krishna Janmashtami also. So
see, we can do all. The reason is we do all so that we identify where is my Ishta Devata and then stick to that. अब मैरिज में आप जाओगे तो सब टाइप का खाना तो रखा होगा ना वहाँ पे. कॉन्टिनेंटल भी होगा, पंजाबी भी होगा, चाट भी होगा, पिज़्ज़ा भी होगा, लाइव काउंटर भी होगा. अभी आप सब तो नहीं खाओगे, आप जो चूज़ करोगे वही खाओगे. Same way our culture gives, this is the beauty of our culture. Do you explore all? And when you explore, then you identify, oh, this is the form that I love the most. And once you find that, bas, you look at the lives of great people. What did Mirabai say? Mere to Giridhar Gopal dusro na koi. It is not an insult of any other form. It is the fact is that one only is appearing as all. And she has understood that deeply and she chose that one. Bas, khatam ho gaya unka kaam. Then she realized oneness with that Lord or not. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he worshipped Kali, full into Mother Kali. Bas, ho gaya kaam. And it is not that they would not do any other celebration. So now suppose you are a Krishna Bhakta and Shravan month comes. What should you do? One choice is you also do Shivlinga Upasana, you also offer Abhishek to Shivji and tell Shivji that Bhagwan, bless me with more Krishna Bhakti. That is one. Or you can say that my Krishna only is appearing as Shiva, I am worshipping Krishna only through the Shivlinga. So your bhav for Krishna only will get strengthened. And that is the truth. Bhagwan only appears as all, there is no difference. He only is Hanuman, he only is Devi, and he only is Krishna, and he only is everybody. Very important it is to choose one. And that will happen based on many things. One of the reasons will be your past samskars. Other will be today, present knowledge that you have, satsang that you are doing, opportunities that Bhagwan will bring to you. And he wants you to choose one. It is not that he is not happy when you worship in many forms, but he says, Arey, choose me in one form first. Once you choose that, bas, then you build that relationship, then Bhagwan feels so happy. So as Hindus, if you remember, we have this concept of Ishta Devata. What is the meaning of Ishta Devata? My personal God. MPG, my personal God. So you choose that form.
Why is it said that adhikasya adhikam phalam? Why do you say that?
Adhikasya adhikam phalam, because when we are selfless, then maximum result we will get.
So do we have to do charities and all those?
You can do everything. You can do charity, you can do japa, you can do puja, you can do any form of upvas, tapas, anything you do, because what will be the result of sadhana? Infinity is the main purpose, na? That is adhika. Adhikasya adhikam is that only. So it is not in terms of numbers. It is in terms of realizing our oneness with the infinite. That's why adhikasya adhikam phalam. So I am coming back to that. Ishta Devata. Please try and identify your Ishta Devata as soon as you can, if you have not identified so far. Why you will be born in a particular family also has some karmic reasons and connection to your sadhana, Ishta Devata, all that. So identify soon and then focus on that. In the car she was telling me her daughter has great love for Bhagwan Ram. She likes other forms also, but her love for Bhagwan Ram is tremendous. Now that is the Ishta Devata she has chosen because of some samskars, some sadhanas of the past. Now focus on that. Bas. People take lifetimes to choose one Ishta Devata and they still don't choose. They are still confused. इनको करूं या इनको करूं? मुझे तो दोनों अच्छे लगते हैं. So take time, figure out, Bhagavan will help you. But come to that one. As soon as you come to that one, the spiritual progress will increase very fast.
Ishta Devata has to be one.
You may worship others as the appearance of Ishta Devata, but your Ishta is one. Haji.
What if someone takes it's born on Adhik Maas or died in Adhik Maas?
Correct.
So how they are going to celebrate?
Very important. So that's a very good question. So those are exceptions in Adhik Maas. So the specific samskars that have to be done for birth and for death, those are allowed. Those can be done. No problem. Because that we cannot stop. That cannot be stopped. But those are exceptions. Other samskars one doesn't do.
What is the difference between Tirupati and Shankar Bhagwan?
No difference.
No difference.
They are one and the same, appearing in two different forms, that's all. And when they appear, there are specific stories and many other things associated, but otherwise, Tattva is one only. No difference.
Just going a little away from what's happening, but how important is the Guru in our life, other than the Ishta Devata?
See, Guru, without Guru, the knowledge will not happen. Ishta Devata, Upasana, if you do for whatever reason, however you have chosen the Ishta Devata, that Ishta Devata will bring Guru into your life. Or you have Guru first in life, that Guru will make you hold on to an Ishta Devata. Either of that will happen. But without Guru, Brahma Jnana cannot happen. That Bhagwan himself showed when he took avatar, he learned from Vasishtha Rishi, Vishwamitra Rishi, Vamadev Rishi as Ram, Sandipani Rishi when he learned from Krishna Bhagwan. So Guru is important, and that's why in our culture it is said a person who does not have a Guru is very unfortunate. Nigura kabhi nahi marna. Because only in human birth you can have a Guru. In any other birth you will have teacher. Meaning what? Somebody will teach. Even a young one of the sparrow will learn something, a tiger cub will learn, lion cub will learn, deer, fawn, that they will learn and somebody will keep teaching. But Guru comes only in human life. And the evolution can be speeded up only in human life. And that's why one must consciously pray, Bhagwan, please manifest as a Guru and guide me. And Bhagwan will make you aware who is your Guru. Done? So 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. So why it is called Purushottam Yoga first? Because who is the supreme Purusha? See, Purusha means what? Purusha means Purau Shete iti Purushaha, one who is enlivening this body, mind, intellect. That consciousness is Purusha. And what is the nature of that consciousness? Purnatvat Purushaha. It is of the nature of completeness, fullness, infinity. So that happiness which we seek, all of us want to be happy at all times. We don't want to be miserable, we don't want to be sorrowful, we don't want to be scared. So what we seek is Param Ananda Prapti. That Param Anand is Purna Purusha. Any incompleteness, if it is there, it will bring some sort of emptiness in our life. When there is no incompleteness, there is fullness. Like when we eat properly, full, you have gone out and you have some, what you call it, big thali with desserts and starters and everything. Now you are full. Sunday afternoon you have eaten. One samosa also can't go inside. Will there be any desire at that point in time for anything? No, because I am full. We want Purnatvam. Apurnata we cannot digest. But we don't know that the Purnata is our nature. So we are seeking outside. So what has happened in that process? We continuously keep thinking happiness is outside, run behind the world, and no matter how much we get, we still feel incomplete. That's why in the corporate world it is said, in the world of rat race, even if you win, you still remain a rat, always afraid of a cat hiding below a mat. How much ever name, fame, power, position we may get, and it has its own place, there's nothing wrong about that. But even after all that, we will still feel limited, incomplete. What next? That question keeps coming. How do I feel fulfilled? Till I feel I am this body, mind, intellect, this is incomplete. So if I identify with this, I will feel incomplete. If I don't identify with this, I don't feel incomplete. Does anybody feel incomplete in deep sleep state? One of the reasons why we sleep is that because we feel completeness only in sleep. Happily we sleep, away from body identification, dropped all the thoughts, emotions, so nicely we sleep. We say, Swamiji, I slept like a log, I didn't know anything, I just knocked out, I had a power nap, I slept deeply. And some people come to the lecture to sleep deeply. That also Upanishadic lecture. Happily they sleep. And some people when they meditate, they go to sleep. And sleep. And best part is they'll get up from the meditation, they say, what a nice meditation. Very nice it was, Swamiji, because they actually slept and they feel rested. But what is happening in that deep sleep? At that time I am not identified with the BMI, so I don't feel incomplete. And I am closest to my true nature, which is Purnatvam. So, what we seek is our true self. And this human body is an opportunity to experience that Purnata. Till we don't experience that Purnatvam, there will be desire. Now desires, when they are there, to fulfill those desires we need body. Because all desires don't get fulfilled in one life. While experiencing certain number of desire fulfillment, new desires arise, and that means new bodies I have to take. So the jiva is stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Bhajagovindam Shankaracharya ji says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam. Again and again we are born, again we die, again we are born. Nowadays they have this visuals thing, they make. Eat, drink, sleep, work, repeat. Like that our life is also that. Birth, life, death, rebirth, repeat. This keeps going. Cycle of birth and death. Now, how will we get out of this cycle of birth and death? The only way to get out of this cycle of birth and death is to know that our nature is Purna. That is the Uttam Purusha. Purusha in us is Purna. And that is the Supreme Purusha. Because it is infinite. There is nothing greater than that. So when a person departs from this world, see now first of all I want to tell one thing very clearly. This Purushottam Yoga is chanted also at the time of departure, not only at the time of departure. I don't know if you are aware, but every day when we eat food, before we eat food, Purushottam Yoga 15th chapter we are supposed to chant. And then only eat food. If you can't chant the full 15th chapter, at least chant that one shloka. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Prana Sama Yuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. That is in 15th chapter. So please remember, it is not to be chanted only at the time of death, when somebody dies. We will come to that also, why we do. But it is chanted while living every day. If you are eating meals 3 times a day minimum, then each time remember Bhagavan. Why? Because that Uttam Purusha only appears as the whole creation. How do you think food comes on our plate? Bhagavan says, Yadadityagatam tejaha jagadbhasayate akhilam. That sun which illumines this entire world. Even the moon, because of which there is coolness. Bhagavan only has become the sun and the moon, and he nourishes. Gama vishyacha bhutani dharayami aham ojasa. So the sunlight is Bhagavan. The ability in the sun to give that light is the Lord's light. It is not happening by itself. So from the sun, the light comes, enters into the earth, fertility happens. Moonlight also. Yachandramasi yachagnav tattejo vidhimamakam, Bhagavan says. The light in the sun and the moon is my light. Moon, you see how much our scientific culture is, Today people understand all this. Thousands of years back, Bhagavan said in the 15th chapter only that having become the moon, I nourish the vanaspatis, the plants. Pushnami cha aushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha. Pushnami aushadhi. Having become soma, which is sun, which is moon, and moon is called rasatmakaha. Why? Because the moon is what is responsible for the vitamins and minerals in the food that we eat. Without the moon it will not work. So even today if you see many places in the country, the farmers will expose the seeds to the moonlight for a few days before they are sown. Because those seeds which are exposed to the moonlight will have beautiful maximum nutrition it will have, then they will do the sowing. So before the sowing season they will do this. So he has become the sun, he has become the moon, the vitality in the earth is his vitality. Have you ever wondered how that small seed which is so small and delicate, how does it break the hard earth? And that small sapling comes out, that cotyledon comes out and then it becomes sun. How is all that happening? From where it gets that power, that energy? So every single aspect, right from the sun onwards to the way the plant grows and how it is nourished, how the photosynthesis happens, how it grows and how it is harvested, then it comes to us. The entire process is because of Bhagavan. Then when we eat food also, how does this system function? Have you thought about that? The windpipe and the food pipe are so close. And this epiglottis, it will form the bridge. Then the food will go over that bridge, over the windpipe and then go into the food pipe. If sometimes that doesn't happen properly, then food has gone into the windpipe. We start, no? Who is doing all that? Swamiji, that is scientific process. A scientific process it is, no doubt, but somebody set that process into motion, no? This phone is functioning because there was an Apple company which made it and it makes it happen like this. Just because the phone is functioning properly, will you say there is no Apple company, phone is working on its own? It is a scientific process. Because there is a process, it proves the existence of the creator. Bhagwan is there in our heart, in our throat, making the food go down the throat, into the food pipe, comes into the stomach, and what do we do after eating food? Happily go to sleep, which is the worst thing to do. Should never sleep after food, never do some heavy activity after food, never stand after food, never take bath after food. What am I supposed to do after food? Do little bit of walking for 5-10 minutes. Be awake, sit and do something which is not very brain heavy. Again, the blood has to go properly here. Then digestion will be thorough. Who is digesting that food? And we don't have any order of eating food also. Anything with any combination, any viruddhahar also we eat. And Bhagwan is sitting inside and digesting. पनीर भी खा रहे हो और उसके ऊपर फिर सलाद भी, उसके ऊपर नींबू निचोड़ के भी खा रहे हो, फिर दही भी डालेंगे अंदर और उसके साथ कुछ मीठा भी होगा, खट्टा भी होगा, तिखा भी होगा, all kinds of tastes, mix and eat. And Bhagwan is wondering, अरे क्या है ये? He is sitting and digesting, and food is of 4 types. What you can chew, what you can swallow, what you can suck, what you can lick. Pachami annam chaturvidham pranapana samayukta. He is the one who is running our heartbeat. He is the one who is making this throat function. He is the one who is ensuring digestion happens. He is the one who is ensuring that food is assimilated through the body. That Supreme Purusha is in the hearts of all. 15th chapter tells us this. That Purusha is in the creation. That Purusha is in your body. That Purusha is making your body sustain. That Purusha is in your heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta, Bhagavan says. All this in 15th chapter. Aham sannivishta. He says, I am in the hearts of all the beings, not only human beings. Who is in the hearts of all is that Supreme Consciousness. The power that beats our heart is the divine power. So, that Uttam Purusha is not somewhere out there. Where is he? In our heart, in our body. We can feel. So somebody says, show me God. What you are seeing in yourself, in outside you, is God only. What else is God? Ramana Maharshi did a very nice thing. So when foreigner came and said, can you show me God? He said, yes. That's all. He said, this movement also happened because of God only. Where are you searching God? Somewhere else. Right here and now is God. That is Uttam Purusha in our heart, in our stomach, Jatharagni, in our throat, in our prana. Everywhere is the divine. So, when we eat food, we remember Bhagwan, we feel grateful. Bhagwan is responsible even for our mind and memory. In the 15th chapter, he says that. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha matta smritihi. From me comes memory, jnanam, knowledge, and apohanam, forgetfulness also. Acha, forgetfulness is because of Bhagwan. Now I understand. Now if I forget anything, I will tell my spouse, Arey, Bhagwan only is responsible for this. I didn't forget now. He has created this with manufacturing defect. What can I do? What apohanam it is? It is forgetfulness of the past lives, so that we remember and transact freshly now. Otherwise, remember, if I know all the spouses of my past lives and know where they are right now in my life, right here and now, terrible, na, it will be. Horrible it will be. We can't deal with life after that. And if you know that your enemy of past life is your spouse, this life, finished you are.
Again enemy.
It's pathetic it will become. So Bhagwan says, better you don't remember all this. I will ensure that you forget. You only remember what you need for now. That's why a child's memory is getting reorganized. So the child sleeps for a long time. Because still the memory is getting reorganized after death also. And after rebirth also. So one reason why we chant 15th chapter is to recognize Purusha outside us, to recognize Purusha inside us, to feel every moment that Purusha alone pervades this creation. One reason we chant. So we should chant while living, and every day at least once you chant this 15th chapter. It is the shortest chapter of the Gita, only 20 shlokas. The entire essence of the Gita is in this 15th chapter. So, and the Gita is the essence of the Veda. Essence of the Veda is Upanishad, the essence of Upanishad is Gita. Gita's essence is in the 15th chapter also. It is there in 2nd chapter also, 18th also, but shortest is 15th. So if you chant every day, it will take not even more than 3 minutes. Maximum 5. You are chanting the essence of the Vedas every day. Think about it. How much more simplified can it be? That will give punya also. That will give us the right state of mind also. And nowadays people tell you or not, do mindful eating. Now you will pay lakhs of rupees and go and attend mindful eating workshop, and they will teach you, sit quietly, pray, eat mindfully, small portions, chew properly. So one reason is, remember that Purusha is in our heart. Second reason, now why do we chant it when the person departs? See, we chant it because in the 15th chapter Bhagavan says, how does a jiva depart? A very beautiful analogy is given in 15th chapter. Sanniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra sama. Sorry, not that. That is 12th chapter. Shrotram chakshuspar cha rasanam ghranam eva cha adhisthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. This senses of ours. See, who dies? If you think about it, if you ask the question, who dies? Body is already dead by itself. Body is functioning because of presence of the Atma. Otherwise it is dead. That Jivatma is in the body, so this body is functioning. Otherwise it is as good as this water bottle. It is Jadavastu only. So when that Jiva has to depart from this body, it will gather all this. Shrotram, Chakshu, Sparshanam, Rasanam, Ghranam. All these are senses of knowledge. Along with the mind, along with senses of action, 19 elements it will gather. 5 senses of knowledge, 5 senses of action, 5 pranas, mind, intellect, memory, ego, avidya and vasanas. 21 items like this will eject out of gross body. And how it will eject? There is a Udana Vayu which will help to gather all this, and it will eject. How the ejection process will be? So the example given here is Adhishtaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudha nanu pashyanti jnana chakshusha. The wise people see with their jnana chakshu that the Atma enlivening this BMI is the Jivatma that is going from one body to the other. So it is like changing clothes. You drop the old clothes, take the new clothes. And the example given there is Vayur Gandhan Ivashayat. How the wind will carry the fragrance effortlessly. When the wind is flowing over flowers, beautiful fragrance is there. Effortlessly the fragrance it will just carry. That way, the wise people who have detachment, they see very clearly that Jivatma ejected out of the gross body, and as per the karma it gets appropriate gatis, and then when the karma is ripe, environment is ready, it will take another birth. Now, this cycle of this Jiva taking birth, ejecting out of the body, getting into different lokas, again getting into another body, this cycle is called Janma Mrityu Samsara. 15th chapter also tells us how to come out of this samsara sagar. It describes the entire samsara, this transmigration and the pain of this samsara through the example of an inverted tree. Urdhva moolam adhashakham ashwatham prahuravyayam. Ashwatha is that which is never steady, that which is never same. Na shvatishtati iti ashwathaha. The samsara is like that. Nothing is same here. Everything changes. That's why people say, I don't know whom have I married. 20 years ago the person I married this person is not the same. So imagine waking up after 20 years beside a person who is unknown to you. Nowadays people say all that. Why? Because the person has changed. Now you feel suddenly, who is this person? What happened to that person whom I loved? Things change, people change. You just see in last few years how much change has happened. Today what a big confusion it is, who you are. At which point of the day who you are. That was not there earlier. One knew that I am a man, I am a woman. Now somebody is saying I am a man in the morning, woman in the afternoon, transgender in the evening, I am a dog in the next day. Arey pata nahi kya kar rahe ho. The mad world is going literally mad. So continuous change keeps happening. That is samsara. And in this, how much we will keep searching for permanent happiness behind the temporary things. So the jiva which has gone, when we chant this 15th chapter, it is a reminder to the people who are here also and the jiva was departed also, that this is temporary nature of samsara. How much will you keep traveling from one body to another? Realize that Param Purusha in your heart. Having got a human opportunity, realize it now. And wherever you go, whichever loka you go, you remember that you are Supreme Purusha. And when you get the next body, start doing the sadhana. Swamiji, that person went away, how will that person hear? Now please understand, only the body is departed, okay? We are connected not only at the body level, we are connected main at the mind level. All our minds are connected. There is no doubt in that. That is called total mind, Hiranyagarbha in Vedanta. Like today it is easy to understand. All our phones as of now, are they connected or not? Are they physically connected? You send one SMS, now WhatsApp, and it goes to the other person. Physical wire is not there. It goes. Now that person read also. You saw the blue tick also, but that person didn't reply. Now you feel bad. They are ignoring me. Blue tick भी दिखा, फिर भी reply नहीं आया. 3 घंटा हो गया. How did that happen? Because you are connecting. Na? Physically there is no connection, but internet is there. Now if your phone mein aeroplane mode is there, you send an SMS from WhatsApp from there, will it reach people? It will not reach. The moment you land down, you put on the aeroplane, put off aeroplane mode, again it will reach. So same way, we are mentally connected, all of us. Every thought that we think and we dedicate it to somebody, it will influence them. One point. Point 2, they are in a subtler state, you are in a grosser state. Which is more powerful, subtler or grosser? Subtler is more powerful. So they can feel everything you are thinking and feeling. You may not be able to feel that much as they feel, but they will feel your mind more than you can feel your mind. So, in your mind, if you are chanting and you are dedicating it to them, they will benefit. No doubt in that. You dedicate it to them, that itself will benefit them, plus they will feel in your mind, that will also benefit. So, one should never think that one will not, the chanting has no use, it's all rites, rituals, ये सब ब्राह्मणों ने invent किया है. See, all these are things that people have fed into our minds because they want to destroy this culture. No doubt there may be some people who exploit others in the name of rituals that we should never encourage, but these things have a deep significance. And why do we need to do this? It is our way of ensuring that the jiva who has departed is given enough strength, because it is not an easy time for the regular jiva. If a jiva is detached very deeply, that doesn't matter to the jiva, that jiva would have already gone. But the jiva who is attached will take some time, and these things will help that jiva quite a lot. Because in the 15th chapter also comes how to get out of the samsara sagar. The samsara vriksha which is there has to be felled with the acts of detachment. Asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. Detachment is what is most important. When we drop the body, imagine we have lived in the body for whatever number of years, and the longer one lives, the longer possibilities of being attached, then we don't want to drop it. Even if we drop it, we still feel, Arey, I am that, I am that. Our mind keeps going there. You leave your old house, go into the new house, but you have lived for such a long time in the old house, your memory will keep going back or not? And suppose you go to that old house, then will you not feel, Arey, I used to stay here, I used to cook here, I used to sleep here. And suppose they have changed everything, then you feel, क्या सब बदल दिया ये लोगों ने? But ये उनका घर है. So the idea here is, attachment is there and the mind keeps going. Now that mind has to be told, Arey, be detached, move on. There is a further life that you have, and Bhagwan is with you. Uttam Purusha is in your heart. Don't forget that. All this will help that jiva. And so we chant the 15th chapter, so that the jiva knows that how effortlessly that air blows over the flowers, takes the fragrance. So effortless can be your transition from this body into the new state. And don't think that you are alone. Nobody is alone. Nobody comes empty handed and goes empty handed. Physically, yes, we don't come with anything, but we come loaded with karma and vasana baggage, and we go loaded with karma and vasana baggage. We become more richer. In fact, we should become poorer. We should exhaust karma and go, हम extra karma उठा के जाते हैं, हमारा baggage बढ़ते ही जाता है. So that jiva has to be told this. So when we do the chanting, it will help that jiva. Especially it will help the jiva to cross this plane, which is called Bhuvar Loka. This is Bhuloka. Interspace is called Bhuvar Loka. After that, the jiva will get appropriate gatis and go to whichever loka that their karma will take care. But this interspace is Bhuvar Loka, where the jiva is in what we call as Preta Sharir. Please remember, Preta literally means only departed, okay? Don't imagine ghost. And don't think of that, that candle is there and then the face is there and through the door it will pass, and all that is all imagination that is cooked up by the movies. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है. You will not be the same jiva but with white clothes and moving around and walking 1 feet above the ground, and then you can recognize, ये तो चुड़ैल है, ये तो ghost है. All this is cooked up by the movies. Don't even think of any of that. You are in a subtle state. Every night Bhagwan gives us this experience of what it is to be in a subtle state without the body. Dream is example of that or not? Are you walking 1 feet above the ground in the dream state? You are a regular person or not in the dream, going through everything in the dream. Are you aware of the body that time? No. That subtle state of existence is what we are after the body drops. Only thing is, we can see clearly that body is lying there. I am not the body. So for some time the jiva remains there. So it is said, do the antyeshti karma, do the shraddha karma, do the pindadan, do the tarpan. Those are technical things which Veda mantras are chanted, rituals are done, bhavanas are invoked. It will help the departed, for which you need some guidance. But the simplest thing that we can do is, 3 chapters are most important to be chanted. Chapter 2, Chapter 8, Chapter 15. Minimum these 3 should be chanted. Chapter 2 will speak about immortality of the soul, rebirth, many things like that. Chapter 8 will also speak about Om, about formless truth, as well as about what happens to the jiva after death. Lunar path, solar path, it will tell all that. And chapter 15 is this Purushottama Yoga, which will tell about samsara, how to come out of it, how to be detached, remembering Bhagwan, and knowing that you are that Uttam Purusha, you are not this jiva who is going from life after life. Now, if that jiva does not know the meaning, will it influence or not? Will it affect or not? Do you know the composition of every medicine that you take? Do you know which components are there in that medicine? How it will cure you? Which part of the body will be affected? Do you know? But you take the medicine, will it impact you or not? Simple. When the chanting is done, it will have an impact because the words are Bhagwan's words directly. There is no doubt in that. Point 1. Point 2. If you know the meaning, so when you are chanting, while chanting itself, because if you know the meaning and you chant and that meaning comes to your mind, through your mind they will benefit. So even if they don't know the meaning, through you they will benefit because you know the meaning. Suppose you don't know the meaning, then you chant the shloka, read the meaning. Then chant the shloka, read the meaning. No problem. Or you finish 20 verses chanting, then read the meaning of 20 verses slowly and understand it. And dedicate it to the jiva. It will help. Because I told you, minds are all connected. It will definitely help the jiva. No, Swamiji, what if the jiva does not have shraddha in all this? Don't worry. A small child, when he did not know anything, you still did what you had to do for the child, no? Whether the child knew its significance or not, you still did. So you do. It will generate some punya, some influence, it will affect that jiva, it will benefit the jiva only. There is no harm that is anyway going to come to the jiva. It will only benefit the jiva. It will give you also a closure here properly that you have done what you can for the departed soul. See, for ordinary things we prepare or not. Your son goes from here to America, wants to study. Will you send or not? So many theplas and gathia and khakra and masala and ready-made packet and hajar things you will send, athano and everything, no? Why? You will need there. And on the way, bhathu alag, preparation alag. When we were children, there used to be one box. In train we used to travel, one box, aluminium box with so many compartments and one green cloth will be there to cover it nicely. And you carry, that is only food box. In that all compartments the mother would have prepared. This is for morning time, this is for afternoon time, this is for night time. And then she will prepare everything. Bhel ke liye mamra alag, tikhi chutney alag, mithi chutney alag, lasan ki chutney alag, everything, and sit in the train and happily eat. Now when that jiva is departed from here, the jiva needs nothing. How is that possible? Huh? सब मिलता है सब जगह, वाह वाह वाह. चीज़ें मिलती हैं, अभी आप चीज़ें मत दो वो ठीक है, लेकिन जब जीव यहाँ से जाता है तो उसको भावना चाहिए कि नहीं. सडनली वो जीव जिसको किसी में श्रद्धा नहीं है is ejected out of the body, do you think that jiva will have enough detachment to just leave? It will be in sorrow. It will not be able to drop this body consciousness. So jnana will be helpful. The most powerful is the jnana. And so we do this chanting and dedicate. And wherever possible, please do the ritual. Ritual has a great significance. Don't take pride in saying that मैंने तो अपने बच्चों को बोल दिया, मेरे पीछे कोई क्रियाकर्म करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मैं इन सब में नहीं मानती हूँ. See, it is your individual belief, you want to do that, that is your choice. But Shastra says don't do that. Why? Because you will need this. These rituals are not just created for some, earning money for some people. No. They are very powerful. Pinda Dan is a very powerful ritual, where we are doing rituals so that the Jivatma gets a proper body, faster it will get. And you can accelerate the process of detachment of this Jiva from the body. The mantras have power, Vedic mantras have a lot of power, and once you know the meaning and you chant, and especially behind parents, it is a fantastic opportunity for the son or the daughter to ensure that in some small little way they can contribute for the parents' well-being. Who can ever repay the debt of a mother who has borne us in the womb for 9 months and nourished us, and the pain she has gone through to give birth and then to nurture and nourish so many sleepless nights in the childhood and all those things she has done? There is no possibility of repaying her at all. But in a small way, when we do the Pindadan and Tarpan and the Shraddha Karma, we are praying and ensuring that she gets the proper body wherever she goes. For her new body, we pray. Is that not a great way of expressing gratitude, that wherever you are with this ritual, may you get a proper body? Such a nice thing it is, what a bhavana it is behind that. So we should do all these rituals. People from abroad, they come and do many of these. We don't value this. Sylvester Stallone, no? This Rocky movie ka star. I think in his family, someone,
His son died.
yeah, his son died and he had a lot of trouble with that, and memories used to keep coming to him. Then finally he came to India. He did Shraddha Karma here. All those memories stopped. All those visions, they stopped. And his son found peace also. He did Shraddha here. So many people do that. They come from abroad here, they understand the ritual, they do, and then they benefit from it. And we take pride in denouncing our culture and say, ये सब हम नहीं मानते, हम नहीं करेंगे, हमारे पीछे कुछ भी मत करो. ठीक है, फिर भूत बन के लटको, अबे और क्या करेंगे? So that's a fact. I am not joking. Because Preta Sharir is there, no? How will you transcend Preta Sharir? At some point your karma will take you, there is no doubt. But this will help you to transcend that realm faster. Why are you not taking that help? What is such a beneficial thing to reject the ritual? So one should study, understand. If somebody says, no, my philosophy does not believe in all this, I mean, your personal choice it is, nobody is saying no anyways. But Sanatana Dharma is saying these are the reasons, this is the XYZ, and there are enough proofs for it also. I know one family which did not believe in any of this because of their philosophical background. Jain family it was. Now that person, in that family, the husband died. So they come to Chinmaya mission and they consulted, they asked me. So I explained everything and I said, you please do the rituals, it will help. They did the rituals. Then they consulted one, the person who is like medium, who will invoke these atmas and all that. So they consulted. And that Jivatma told them that I am more at peace because you have done all these. And the Jivatma said, don't worry behind me. I am more happier now. I am going to move ahead because you have done this. It has helped me a lot. And in my next Janma, I am going to definitely do XYZ things. And in that one thing he said also about food, saying this Bhelpuri I love very much. I will ensure that I must get Bhelpuri in my next Janma. All this, that fellow who is a medium, he is writing there. And this parents, this wife and the two daughters, they were stunned. How does this man know any of these details that the Jivatma was telling them? So a lot of things are there which are, they are real. We don't think because we think it's so-called scientific and everything has to be shown to us externally. You can't show everything externally. It is not possible. Sometimes we have to lift ourselves to certain deeper levels. Then we understand, oh, this is what is the reality. So this is the significance of the Purushottam Yoga. Any questions on that? Welcome.
I have a question, Swamiji, that some people pledge their organs and then what happens? So, right, they pledge their body and
Nothing will happen, no? Because you please pledge the organs. There are anyway few organs only which can be used. Entire body cannot be used. Skin can be used of whole body, but otherwise heart, liver, eyes.
who are brain dead and they, their kin donate the...
Correct. See, so we have to understand one thing. If you don't donate, what is going to happen? Body is anyway going to be burnt or buried. It is going to be destroyed. Okay? That Jivatma was attachment to the body has gone from that body. Now we have to, through all this chanting, sadhana, etc., help that Jivatma to detach and move ahead. Body will anyway rot or burn. So if you are actually able to give the organs, it will help somebody else. It is much better, no? If the Jivatma is anyway attached to the body, whether you give the ice or don't give the ice, the Jivatma's detachment process is independent of this. 1. 2. Don't ever think that because we have done organ donation, अगर मैं आँख दे दूँगी तो अगले जन्म में मैं कैसे देखूँगी? That is a stupid kind of a logic that people have, because तुम नहीं दोगे तो भी वो तो डीके हो ही रहा है वहाँ पे, और तुमको वो भगवान नया शरीर देंगे. And the ability to see is still there in the subtle body. That is why it is called 5 senses of knowledge, 5 senses of action, 5 pranas, and mind, intellect, memory, ego, they are going. So organ donation can be done, should be done. Help somebody's, we said in the beginning, na, paropakarartham idam shariram. This body is meant to serve others. But make informed choices, give it in such places where they do it ethically and they are not exploiting and making money and disturbing other people. Don't do that. Now, one important point in this is, if you receive an organ, there you have to be very alert from where this organ is coming, because there are karmic consequences that will interfere and we cannot stop that. There is a proper documentary evidence available, scientific, so-called scientific evidence also available for it, because our gross body is a product of our mind. And today we know very clearly that every single thought in the mind translates onto the gross body in terms of a hormone release or a contraction in the body. So more stress is there, more the body will go through challenges. And whatever karmas the mind has done, thoughts that the mind has, the karmic impression of that is in the organs. Memories are there, cell level memories are there. So if you take an organ from somebody who has a disturbed life, it will affect your mind. There is a proper evidence available for this. You do the research, you will find. There was one person who got a heart transplant done. And after some time, so the physical surgery went well, but after some time this person started getting more and more visions of accidents. Lots of times. So this person started thinking, what is happening? Then they did the research and they found that the person who died had died in a massive accident. Plus in their life also that person has had a few such episodes. So the memory of that is there deeply embedded, and the heart has felt certain things. The mind has felt certain things, it has got transformed, it has got in the cell memory it has got embedded there. So he is getting some of these disturbing thoughts, disturbing visions. So that is what happens. When organ transplant is done, we should be very alert to find out from where this organ is coming, who is the donor, what has been the life of that person. See, even for a few things in the world, we do due diligence process or not. And for these deeper things we have to do. Otherwise, karma will definitely interfere. From here somebody had lifted their hand.
So, Swamiji, I wanted to ask.
There, yeah.
For the Atma in the past, the attachment to the Atma or the person who is left behind, like a wife, and she is very upset, and all that. How do you deal with that?
True. So the attachment is there, so the sorrow is there, the person is no more in the physical form, you miss the person. It's natural, one will feel that, and that grieving process one should go through, one should not suppress it. There are 2-3 things that should be done. We have to understand life is a flow, I have to move on. Take time to move on, nothing wrong with it. But make up the mind that I have to move on. Go through the grief, go through the pain, so that it becomes a release, it is not suppressed. Think how will the departed person feel if you are in sorrow? Because they can feel what you are going through. They can experience in much more powerful way than what you are experiencing now. So if you are experiencing 10 units of sorrow, they will experience it more. Because you are only aware of 10 units. What is not in your conscious mind, you are not aware of that still. It is there in subconscious mind. They will be aware of whole. So one is to know that the faster I get out of this, it is good for me, for them. 3, we have to find out, we have to understand that each of us are in a journey. In the Adhyatma Ramayana, the example given here is, stream is flowing, in that there are some twigs that come together, they travel together in the stream for some time and then they depart. Again at some point in time they come together, again they part. So meeting, parting will keep happening as per our karma. So at some point in time Bhagavan will bring us together whenever karma decides. But at the moment parting has happened, so I must ensure that I carry on with what next has to happen in my life, because I am also an individual jiva in my journey of evolution. No doubt one jiva came into my life, we had a good association, we learned, loved, many things happened, but now the next phase of life I have to move on. And which is why bhakti is very important. Our connection with Bhagavan is the eternal connection, every other connection is temporary. So we love them when they are there, we wish them well when they have departed, but we have to carry on our journey. Till we don't realize Uttam Purusha, our journey will go on. So how long do we want to go on? That is our choice. So if we make the choice saying whatever, even if it is not spiritual, even in the life, whatever else my goals are, I have to move on with that. And it does not mean that I am being unsympathetic or I am being heartless, because some people have that false notion. How can I move on so fast? What will the society think? They didn't really love each other. That's why she could move on so easily or he could move on so easily. Those are all conditionings of the society. You don't even bother about that. If you are able to move on, it is good for them also, it is good for you also. And to hold on to a higher ideal or a goal or spiritual progress or what would make them happy or to fulfill something that they left unfulfilled, many of these are ways by which I can move on. If you feel more and more, you can keep sending them positive thoughts and love. It will help them. Instead of feeling you are missing them, send them love. Just know that they are in a subtle form. Don't think they are not there. That conditioning is that they are not there. No, they are there in a subtler form. Like how if your son has gone somewhere else, you are not able to connect for whatever reason, connectivity is not there, but you know that the son is there and you keep wishing well. Like that, understand they are in a subtle form, keep sending love to them, good wishes to them, it will help.
Swamiji, a lot of people feel that once the soul has departed, instead of doing all these rituals, you should donate, to an orphanage or to, homeless people. Is one a substitute for the other?
Never. One can never be substituted for the other. You can do dan, there is no doubt. That is said anyway in the ritual, it will come. But as I said, Pindadan is specifically done to give a body to the departed. Tarpan is done to feed the departed. See, there is a lot of science behind this which we don't understand. Their timeline and our timeline are different. 1 year of ours is 1 day and night for them. 6 months of ours is day, 6 months of ours is night for them. So 1 year is 1 day and night for them. So every year when you do Shraddha during the Tithi of the person's departure or during Pitrupaksh time or both, it will help to feed them through that particular Shraddha karma, in which there will be in the first year, in the immediately when the person dies, there will be Pindadan, Tarpan and Brahmana Bhoj will happen. After that it will be certain basic rituals, you don't do every time the whole thing, but it will take care of them for a certain number of days in their existence. And suppose you say, what if they have taken birth? See, our 16 years is hardly 16 days in their time. Point 1. Point 2, it never happens that a jiva will immediately be born. ये सब हिंदी मूवी ने कचरा भर के रखा है हमारे दिमाग में. वो उधर मरा और इधर पैदा हो गया बच्चा, मतलब यही ऐसे आ गया. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. Okay, so that jiva will be in whatever state, it will benefit the jiva. Even if that jiva has taken a body for whatever reason, suppose we say jiva took the body, it is not being offered to the body, it is being offered to the mind, na? So it will reach. So we should do those rituals and not substitute them. A karma will give a result. It will not be possible to change that.
But why 13 days for this all rituals to be done?
No, those 13 days there will be, because of the subtle body only, it takes certain time for the subtle body to settle down. People who are here also and people who have departed also. And if you say symbolically, then yes, because we have the 5 senses of knowledge, 5 senses of action and mind and intellect and our memories and our ego, for that subtle body one has to ensure that it to settle down. So every day certain chanting is done to help that jiva. There is no other, so some places they do 13 days, some places they will do 10 days, some they will do 16 days. That people have formed their traditions, that's all.
So how fast does the jiva take to drop into another union or in a...
That is not fixed at all. Depends on which karma fructifies, and that environment should be available. Those jivas should be available with whom you have to settle the karma. All that, that's why the importance of Ishvara as the karma phala data. He ensures that all this is put in place, then we take birth. That is, first human birth comes after 84 lakh species. After that it comes as per your Purushartha. Till then it is nature pushing through evolution, and one comes to first human birth after going through 84 lakh species. But once you drop the human body, again you don't have to go to all 84 lakh. Arey, फिर तो मुक्ति कब मिलेगी हमको? In that human life, whatever karmas you have done with whatever intention, that punya papa will get appropriate results. For that you go to appropriate lokas and get the bodies. And then again you continue. So, just I want to make one announcement before I conclude. See, we are having a very beautiful play which I have written and directed. It is called Dharma Yodha Vidyaranya. This is on 29th of July, this Saturday. It is about the great saint Swami Vidyaranya, who formed the Vijayanagar Empire, who protected our Sanatana Dharma in the south of India. How many of you have been to Hampi? Such a beautiful place, Hampi. In the ruins it is today, but imagine it was one of the most prosperous places in the country. Diamonds and pearls used to be sold in the market there as regular items. One of the most powerful kingdoms, Vijayanagar kingdom, and the life of Swami Vidyaranya is most amazing. He is called as second Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya in another form, Aparam Iva Shankaracharya it is called. He is called. So from his birth to his samadhi, his life is beautifully depicted, and how our ancestors have done so much sacrifice, what is the culture of ours, who is a Hindu, what is the importance of our Vedic Dharma. Many of these beautiful things we have brought out in the play. It is done by our youth wing, and if you have youngsters, you please bring them. 29th July, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is this beautiful play that is going to happen in Birla Matushri in Marine Lines. The tickets are available on Book My Show, and we have made it very subsidized. 500 rupees is the cost. If you want to sponsor any children also, you can bring them and let them watch the play. Through this, lot of messages about our Vedic Dharma, about our culture, about patriotism, we are trying to impart. So please come with your families, watch the play, and also bring as many youngsters, children as you can. Anybody above the age of 8 you can bring. They will be able to sit, watch, enjoy.
In English?
It's in English. It's in English, Dharma Yodha Vidyaranya. So more and more people will understand, especially the younger audience. So please do come. And if you want to know about our programs, chinmayamission.com is our website. chinmayamissionmumbai.com is specifically for Mumbai programs, and Chinmaya Shivam is my handle. So you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, we have no words to thank you. You have enlightened us so well. And Swamiji, you have enlightened us, and we are really blessed. We are really blessed today being Adhik Maas, and you have shown us so much of light today that this malmaas, that we have to remove the mal. It is not the dirty mass, we have to remove the mal from this. And Purushottam Maas, where we can do our best to put in the best. And about 15th Adhyaya also, you gave us a lot of knowledge that soul where it goes and how we can help the departed soul. So whether they know or not, but the subtle soul will of course understand everything. And I think Swamiji, we will request you if possible, we will like to have a few more sessions with you whenever possible and whenever you have time, everyone if agrees for all this. And once we would also like to have a show of quest. That is what our committee was requesting.
We can do.
So we can have one quest show.
Definitely.
And another time whenever possible, we'll try and be in touch with you. And we are really thankful with your heavy schedule and very tight schedule. You have given so much time to us and thrown a great light in our lives. We are always thankful.
Thank you. Thank you for being a patient audience and sitting quietly so beautifully for 2 hours and more. And you see the result of Adhikasya Adhikam Phalam. I did one talk and Adhik has already come.
There are snacks after this, tea offerings next. So please
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.